If you're like me, you just got finished watching Thursday Night Football, the start of Week 9, as the New York Jets came off victorious, swarming C.J. Stroud, amassing 8 sacks in this game in total. And while the Jets are not that great on offense, their defense has always been, for at least the last 5 years, been the strength of their team. And today their offense was able to do just enough in order to get a win and that spectacular catch by Garrett Wilson. But the reason I'm making this video is to show the importance of a pass rush. When you're able to get to a quarterback 8 times in total, you can knock the best quarterbacks off of their stride. And C.J. Stroud found that out the hard way. Let's take a look real quick because this is all coming back to the Detroit Lions. The New York Jets heading into this game were 2-6 they had lost 5 in a row, I believe, something like that. There were even people in the stadium. Let me see if I can show you guys this. In the stadium here, check this hat out. Jets are playing Beware, Save Me, Ben Johnson, because that's how anemic their offense has been. Shout out to this guy. And no, you cannot have Ben Johnson, not yet anyway, not until we get at least that one Super Bowl. But let's take a look at the Jets. We're able to sack C.J. Stroud, who is a great quarterback, not playing as well as he was last year, but a great quarterback nonetheless. Sacked him for eight times, 56 yards. Let's look and see who exactly had all the sacks. Now, you guys know I'm huge defensive line, but it looks like that they were able to use a combination of people. Even Hassan Reddick was able to get a sack. You got Sherwood had 2 sacks. You had DJ Reed with a sack. Quentin Williams, a sack and a half. That's a lot for a big man in the middle. You've got Clements with 2 sacks. You've got Solomon Thomas with a sack. And then you have Hassan Reddick with the other half of a sack for 8 total sacks in this game compared to the 2 for the Houston Texans. And that is with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. Before heading into this game, because it says that the New York Jets have played 8 games, which they have, but the sack count did not upload. So if you add the 7 that they've received today, which there's no way the Jets have 15 sacks. They could have, but I don't really think they did. If this is not correct and it still needs to update, then they are the 2nd in the league in sacks. But even if it hasn't, they are now top 6. Now, their record does not indicate that they've been playing good ball because their defense has been carrying the load. But how important, what is the point of this? The point is getting to the quarterback can make a bad team seem good. So what if you had a good team that can be elite? You could have an elite team that could be unbeatable. And that's what the Detroit Lions would be. The Detroit Lions would be hard to beat if we were able to get to the quarterback. Now, 8 sacks, I think the most we've had this season was 6 in a game, I believe, and that's when Hutch had, it was either 6 or 7, and Hutch had 5 of those sacks. This is why Brad Holmes must do something. And why are we continually talking about it? Why are you sick of me talking about it? Why are you sick of hearing it? It's because it is the biggest need on our team. Everyone believes that this is the thing that can hold this team back, can and has held this team back. That this is the thing we need to fix in order to go all the way. You have a bad offensive Jets team. That's with Garrett Wilson, Bryce Hall. You've got Devontae Adams and an old man Rodgers. The defense has been the strength, and this is with no Jermaine Johnson. They lost him earlier this season. The Detroit Lions, the importance of a pass rush it could be the difference between winning a game, losing a game. The Jets offense had an atrocious first half, but they were able, their defense did what it usually does and kept them in the game. So the Detroit Lions, we have an opportunity. And again, I know what Brad Holmes is capable of, meaning what he can control. I know what he's capable of as well because he was able to build through the draft. And I don't know who realistically is available. Is Trey Hendrickson available? Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, somebody? What I do know is there were opportunities in the offseason. I don't know how hard Brad Holmes tried to bring somebody here. Jonathan Greenard. You've got Andrew Van Ginkel, who I mocked and teased and made fun of, and he's playing pretty good for the Minnesota Vikings. The neglected pass rush will be what keeps us out of a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl. A great team, an elite team with a decent pass rush, which is what we don't have, a decent pass rush. Listen, the Lions fixed the pass rush. We're going all the way. All the way. Brad Holmes has a lot of work to do for that to happen. He's going to have to continue to do what he does and find those diamonds in the rough. But he still can make a trade deadline move or two. For me, I would love to see Zadarius Smith and anyone else. We need to make 2 moves. Now, we do have one more opportunity to see what the guys on our team can do. Can Mohammed still make an impact? Can Isaiah Thomas come up? What can James Houston do? Will we elevate Isaac Uku for the 3rd and final time? Will we bring up Mitchell Agude? What can we do? Roderick Martin has been, his 21-day window has opened, so maybe he'll come in relief of someone and help make a difference as well. This has been Brad Holmes put all the resources, aside from DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport, which DJ Reader was a big addition, but every free agency, Amik Robinson, we brought back Emmanuel Mosley. Carlton Davis, we traded for him. Now we have, then you draft Ennis Rakestraw, Terrion Arnold. 5 people in the secondary that you brought in. Defensive line is DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport. And only one of those guys is still playing and will, hopefully, for the rest of the season. The importance of the pass rush cannot be denied at this point. The New York Jets are not a good football team, but they got a pretty good pass rush and a pretty good defense. And it's time for the Detroit Lions to get that. If we get a top 10 defense, we win the Super Bowl. I'm convinced now. And for us to do that, I think we're going to need some help on it. I know we need some help on that defensive line. So, Brad, I made a video earlier and said during the live stream, who would you blame? And put this in the comment section below. Someone will need to be blamed at the end of the season. It's either going to be the players, the coaches, the general manager, or the front office. Who are you going to blame? If we don't, it really all depends, right? If Jared Goff throws a game-losing interception, it'll be easy to blame him. And from my perspective, it's very easy to blame everyone but Brad Holmes. I'm about to blow your mind right here. Right? You ready? I want to see you talk your way out of this. Brad Holmes, the same guy that we love, you love to praise, but you don't love when anybody talks negative about him. He's the one that decided to bring in Jared Goff, who most of us refuse to give his flowers. The minute he does something wrong, we want to toss him out. Who brought him here? Who traded for him? Who had him included in the trade? General Manager Brad Holmes. So if you're going to blame Jared Goff, you might as well blame Brad Holmes for bringing him here. Coach Campbell can pull him out at any time. Who are you going to blame for keeping him in there? We love to put the blame on the players, but I don't think enough blame goes around. Because, see, Jared Goff is just as responsible for the resurgence of this team as Brad Holmes, but we love to point the finger at him. We love to do that. I, myself, very critical of Aaron Glenn. This year, he's doing well, considering. I have decided to cut Aaron Glenn some slack. You know why? Because Brad ain't gave him nothing on that defensive line. He has not. And now we lost our best player. So you know what? AG, you do your thing, man. You do your thing. It's only so much you can do, my brother. So I'm with you. I'm with you. And no, he's not going anywhere. He's not. No, he's not. I'm convinced now. And you know what? It really doesn't even bother me anymore. This is going to fall on Brad Holmes. Now, the Houston Texans, they've got Will Anderson Jr., Danielle Hunter. They got a squad. They lost some guys too. They got a squad. But it was tough for them out there today. Not every team is going to have it their way every game. Tonight was the Jets. The importance of a pass rush cannot be understated. It is time. If the Detroit Lions get to the quarterback, we will win the Super Bowl this year. We have the best team in the National Football League, no matter what people say about the Kansas City Chiefs. Speaking of Kansas City Chiefs, they get better. They know what they have to do. Will the Detroit Lions attempt to do the same thing? And see, me, I have a problem. You cannot buy right or buy twice. You can't wait to the last minute to address an issue. If there's a problem, fix it early before it gets worse. Brad Holmes did not, to our knowledge, make any attempt at an elite pass rusher. It didn't even have to be elite, above average. We got a guy coming off injury. It might be too late for him to address it. Because remember now, these guys have to be willing to trade. Dan Campbell said it the other day. If they're good, their team isn't going to want to let go of them. And he's right. That's why Myles Garrett and your favorite Max Crosby ain't going nowhere. That's what they say anyway. So now we have to go get someone else. I hope that someone else is Trey Hendrickson, but even he can't do it by himself. He's still going to need the rest of that team to step up. So let me know your thoughts down below. Everyone wants Ben Johnson now. It's hilarious. Everyone. San Francisco 49ers, they're already plotting if Kyle Shanahan gets fired, they want Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is wanted by at least the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, the 49ers, some of them, and now the New York Jets. I'm sure it's many more out there. This is what you're going to hear over the next couple of days. But I believe in my heart, and based on the numbers, that if the Detroit Lions properly, to the best of their ability, they got to do it now, which might not be good enough. But if we and when we properly address the pass rush, we win the Super Bowl. And hopefully that's this year. So hopefully we can get a team to trade with us and we get that person and we get to see Hutch back for the Super Bowl. But give me your thoughts down below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Take care of yourself and each other. Make good choices, and happy November 1st. And as always, go Lions. Can't believe the season is halfway over.